My name is Dr. Susan Fennick. I'm the CEO and founder of Juvenile Justice Impact, and today we have with us the infamous Mark Schaefer. He owns My Vegas magazine, My Nashville magazine, My Tampa magazine, and we have a beautiful magazine coming out because there's an apparent beauty boom going on. So thank you so much, Mark, for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Susan. I'm excited. Let's see. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, right. So tell us a little bit about, let's just go back a little bit, but tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the magazine, what drove you, what inspired you, and some of the, I know you give so much to the community, and we're just so happy to have you here.
Well, thank you. The magazine business, well, I was an advertiser at first, and a magazine, a wedding magazine I was doing back in the day, and my publisher, the fellow that owned the magazine, asked me if I wanted to get in the magazine business, and I said, well, show me the money. And he did, and we went to lunch, and I said, wow, I was a wedding singer at the time and advertising a wedding magazine, and it turned out to be a profitable move for me. So I made the move from, I put down the microphone and picked up the laptop and went to work on with him in the business, and that was in the 90s. And then it just unfolded from there. One thing led to another. From the wedding magazine, it parlayed into the Las Vegas Home and Garden magazine, and then the Las Vegas Restaurant Guide, and then the Las Vegas Health and Fitness magazine. And I had about 10 of them. Las Vegas Woman, Las Vegas Bride. We had about 10 of them going on, and the recession hit in 7 and 8. And waiting a couple years for the recession to end, it never did. By 2009, I was getting a little antsy, and I thought, let's come up with a new plan here. So this recession was taking forever. So come along 2010, that's when it all came together, and I thought, I'm going to put them all under one roof. Kind of like what they were doing back in the day. They were consolidating. College-age kids were moving back in with their parents during the recession, and I thought, well, these are my kids, all my little businesses, and I put them under one roof and called it My Vegas, and never looked back, which then that's been over 10 years now, 12 years now, and during that time it parlayed into My Nashville and My Tampa, and next is My Austin.
Really? Congratulations.
Yep.
And then you have a beautiful magazine coming up. And what inspired that?
Well, what inspired that was kind of all my life growing up, I was the only boy in the family. I had 3 sisters. And there was, on my coffee table was always Cosmo and Vogue, and one or the other. And so I'd seen these girly magazines for the first 18 years of my life, and then so that was in the back of my mind. And then just recently, in this last couple of years, I've noticed things are going kind of crazy in Vegas when it comes to beauty. Botox wasn't even a word in my vocabulary 10 years ago, and now Juvederm is another word that's out there. I don't know what all these mean exactly, but what the difference is. But then I started seeing some of the girls in my office came in with these fish lips, you know, and then eyebrows. I heard you can get your eyebrows done, and then recently I heard there's businesses just for eyelashes.
Yeah.
So you can go get eyelashes done now from one girl, another girl eyebrows, another one for your filler. I started thinking. And then hair extensions, that wasn't out 10 years ago, or was it? I didn't know, but I just heard about that 5 years ago. And I came to realize, wow. I mean, I've known about breast augmentation and the Brazilian butt lift. I know girls have been doing that, and we know about that all of our lives, but everything just multiplied. And now, from a woman's head to her toe, there's about 100 businesses that want to grab your purse and help you improve the way you look and appear. And how you feel, and a lot of that has to do with self-esteem. There's nothing wrong with it, you know. A girl gets something done to herself, and she feels more stronger and prouder, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I don't think, in my opinion, and but it's turned into a booming business, looking good in Las Vegas, and then Instagram. Now you got Instagram, and the girls are comparing. At my church, my pastor said, you know, we don't compare ourselves to God or the Bible as much as we do our girlfriends or our buddies with
who's
the new truck and
what,
the new boat.
right? Who's driving what? Who's wearing
and
what?
So we rank ourselves based on what of our friends are doing, how they're looking, and what they're doing. So And he
so
said,
true.
it's not really the way the God wants you to do it, but it is what's happening out there. And so he had a little message on that one day, and that made me realize, yeah, girls do that. And so girls are looking at, and guys do too, but girls are looking at the Instagram, comparing themselves to the other girls. And I've heard them when I've heard two girls looking at stuff. Look at her eyebrows. Oh my, who does that? And they ask each other, who did your eyebrows? Who did your eyelashes? Because they like what who's your doctor?
I can't for the life of me put lashes on. I've tried I don't know how many times, and they get winds up stuck to my eyebrow. And I don't know.
So seriously, it has turned out to be a booming business. And I said, we don't. There's not a magazine for that here in town. So it's all about being beautiful. So the new magazine's called Beautiful, and it's underway now. The media kids just got finished. The contracts are done. We've got a new sales girl coming to the company, and it'll start in Las Vegas, and we'll see how far it goes. And I don't know about New York or L.A., or Miami, but there may be beauty booms going on there too. But I know right here in Las Vegas, it's a competitive business.
It really is.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you had along the way, and how have you overcome them in the business?
Challenges in what area? In
the business of running your magazines.
Well, pretty much what everybody else is having right now. Good help. Our labor pool here in Las Vegas has always been kind of weak in the fact that we're competing. Small businesses here in Las Vegas are competing with the big hotels on the Strip. So they can go up there and they can get a uniform and 3 meals a day and health insurance and new glasses and vision insurance and everything. And it's hard to compete with those big companies, what they offer, and with the big casinos. And so for me and a lot of my small business friends right now, and it's gotten worse. That was before Corona. Now the Corona's hit, and for some reason, a lot of people, the work ethic seems to have gone down another.
I've noticed
20
that.
Points,
I've noticed that a lot.
It's hard to find good people that still want to work hard and succeed in life. A lot of lazy people out there.
I've noticed that even when we were picking up some of the items for our last workshop, the guy was just like, no one wants to work anymore. He goes, yeah. I can't hire people for the life of me at a good salary.
Yeah, when I came over here, I was on the phone with a fella from he has a store, small bit, 4 of them, Vision, eyeglass stores here in town, and we were just talking about. I said, "What are your biggest struggles?" He said, "Finding decent help."
What can change that? I mean, I've noticed that so many employers now that they just can't find. They can't find good help. They can't keep people. No one wants to stay within these companies.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think everybody wants to be Jeff Bezos. They want to just get on Amazon and become a gazillionaire overnight.
Yeah.
And he didn't make that overnight either.
No.
It wasn't overnight for him. So there's illusions of grandeur that people have. I think in the workforce world, and the value of the dollar has declined. Our president throwing money at everybody and making it easy to stay at home doesn't help. Extending the unemployment from 6 months to 12 months. And we were this morning at a governor's town hall this morning with 8 of the governors, and one of the fellows mentioned that even our homeless population, they get $800 a month check plus $200 in food stamps, so they're getting $1,000 a month.
That's a lot of money.
And just free money.
Yeah.
And they're homeless. So the rest of the population are also, we're getting a lot of free money. I think all the extra money is done now. But that kind of set the stage for why work.
And Juvenile Justice Impact is a platform where we like to educate, help, heal, let people know that they're not alone. And it's not a political platform whatsoever. However, when I do have someone sitting in front of me making a run, especially like yourself, and we've known each other through the years, and I've seen the incredible work that you have done with our community as well. What are some of your top 5 initiatives that you feel like you would like to change here in our state? I mean, we have such an incredible sense of community.
Well, I have 3 different things that I want to do, and there's probably 5 to 10 under each one of those. The first one is repair or restore what's already going on, and then the next area that I want to do is prevent things from going south again, and then the last one is initiatives. So I'll start with the first one, and you can cut me off if I go too long. But
one thing I did see was that you had, because I was just looking through some of your bios and stuff. I mean, I have known you, however, you said that the state is driving itself without a steering wheel.
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's a pretty in-depth statement.
Yeah, a lot of our politicians are just running around blind and just not holding on to the wheel. It's just we're heading down a very bad path. As a result, there's a big red wave right now. A lot of Republicans are. There was never been a full challenge against the Democrats like there is right now. The Republicans there's a Republican in every race right now, and even 2 years ago that wasn't true. Some of the Republicans were sitting out and just letting the Democrats do what they want. And I kind of feel guilty. I was kind of one of them for 10 years. I've been. If they went this way, I made left. If they turned right, I went left, vice versa, whatever. I just maneuvered my business. I'm a strategist in my business, and for me, business is a sport. It's a chess game, and I just have to make all the right moves, and depending on what's going on. But yeah, it's a mess up there in Carson City, and our state is a mess. Our country's in a mess right now, and I think it can be changed, but it's going to take powerful leadership. It's going to take decisive leadership. It's going to take initiatives that haven't been done before. We can't keep doing the same old, and expect something different to come out of it. That's insanity. So we're going to have to do some new things. But before we can do the new things, we're going to have to go back and repair what's already going on wrong. So the first area of my platform is repair and restore. The last few years, they've talked about defunding the police. And that's like, well, then why don't you just go ahead and kick the parents out of every house and let the kids have the whole house? Mm-hmm. If the parents left for a year and they came back, the kids may not even be there anymore.
Right.
And the house will be trashed, and everything's a mess, or burned down because they left the fireplace on all night long. If you don't have police, defunding the police is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. We need more cops. And with all the heartbreak that went on in the last 4 years with the cops getting a bad rap in many cases, and in every business there are in the medical field in Las Vegas, there's a lot of amazing doctors here. There's a couple of shady ones. There's a lot of amazing lawyers, but there's a couple of shady ones.
There's good and bad in a lot.
The same with our police force, but that doesn't mean that the whole police force gets a black eye every time a cop does something wrong or does something that's a little abusive in his power. So our police force, the people don't want to join the police force right now. It's not attractive. And I believe we need to rebrand that.
I see. So
we need to rebrand that. We need to have billboards up. There's plenty of billboards up about getting a boob job or a Brazilian butt lift, but there's nothing up there about join the force. Mm-hmm. And right now, they're going to Seattle, they're going to Portland, they're going to Arizona, to Phoenix, and they're doing marketing, trying to bring in people here to join the police force.
Really?
And I believe they can do it right here if we just rebrand it mm-hmm. and make it attractive to be a cop again. And one of the other things is we need to start early. Yeah. Back in the day, I remember when cops would come to school, cops in the classroom. They would come to the classroom and everybody, ooh and ah, look at them. But
I remember that. Yeah.
I also remember when my uncle Charlie was driving the car, and we were all in the back seat playing, and he said, "Hey kids, get down! There's the cops." So that made me think, okay, so are they bad? I mean, I grew up thinking, and to this day, I see a cop, I'm in a red light, and a cop, I hear Uncle Charlie, there's a cop. I feel like going under my steering wheel because he put that in my head so early.
Isn't that something?
But I know the cops are good, and they're here to protect.
I remember that. I remember one of my cousins saying that when we were get down, there's a cops. Like, yeah. what are we doing wrong? Like, I know.
Like, what do we do?
Oh my God!
It's a snow cone.
Yeah.
my child is too.
We're brought up to be paranoid, right?
Yeah, we're brought up to be paranoid. So,
oh my God.
We have so many community centers here in town, and I think that they should have in Las Vegas and Reno too, in every major city possible, Cops and Kids program where they can get together, and if it's in the park, and there's a holiday every month. So in February, they could have a Valentine's Day in the park with Cops and Kids.
I love it.
It doesn't have to go to one school. It would take a whole force. But what if all the cops would come together in their uniforms at a park or at a community center once a month? St. Patrick's Day, it could be for the St. Patrick's Day party, and you decorate the community center all up. You invite all the kids and the public. You make it aware. You get it out to the news stations and as a press release and let them know that it's. Cops are cool, and my nephew is a state detective up in Reno, and
nice.
He works for the state police department, and he busts people for drugs, mostly meth, which is another big problem in Nevada. But great guy, 1,000%. He's like the son I never had, and I would, if I could call him my son, I would, because he's just like hardcore, seriously fun guy. He's got a beard down to here. He's undercover, so his beard's down to here. He looks like somebody you don't want to meet in a dark alley, but he's really a cool kid. I call him a kid. He's taller than me now, but cops are cool, and we need to change that image in town. Not just to increase the force for the public image. Needs to be changed so they understand that it's okay to be cop. We need more cops. We need to hire more cops. We need to take the handcuffs off the cops. We need to make sure that they have the tools and everything they need to do their job, and we need to hire more and get more on the road. So fund the police, support the police, back the blue, and I'm all about that. And that's one of my first things that I want to repair. Then, of course, our education system. Now, we're like number 49 or 50 right now.
How did it get to be that way?
From 10,
It's
20,
been that way for a while.
Yeah, it's been for 10 years. We've been for a decade now. We've been down at the bottom. It's from neglect.
Of what?
Not caring. We don't seem to really spend the money or the time or the energy on looking at a serious way of fixing it.
And where does the money come from?
So the money goes to the general fund, and then the general fund, the money for schools, and the general fund, it can get washed out anywhere.
Such as?
It could just get washed out anywhere for anything, for highway improvement and stuff.
Oh, I see.
But we have the money. We're just not spending it right up in Carson. We have enough money, and we have the same amount of money that Florida does in our budget, but we're not spending it right.
I remember there was 3 states you had mentioned. You said that we were spending a lot of time trying to copy California. Mm-hmm. And then you had mentioned the other 3 states that you feel as though we should model after.
Well, exactly, yeah. Now, today I would listen to 8 governors all talk about education and what their ideal vision was. Smaller classroom sizes. They said the average classroom size in America is 20, and in Vegas we have 40 kids per class.
Oh my goodness.
They're talking about school choice.
That's like college.
Uh-huh.
It's like college.
Yeah. And they're talking about school choice, and school choice is also great, where kids could choose from 8 different areas, from homeschooling to private school to this school to that school to public school. And school choice includes giving if you're going to homeschool your kids, giving the parents some money back,
right,
from the state,
sure, because
they are not having to pay for that kid in public school now. And then they're talking about dividing up the school system, the Clark County school system, so that Boulder City handles their own. North Las Vegas handles their own schools, and we have different school districts instead of just one big district. They think by breaking it up, they'll be able to manage it better, and people will be able to manage it better and more, and maybe so. I am a firm believer in if you're looking for a personal trainer, you're probably not going to go, and you got 2 options. This guy's really muscular, and he looks like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, or Rocky Balboa, and this guy over here is 400 pounds or he's 80 pounds. He's really skinny. He's just underweight or he's way overweight. You're probably going to go with the muscle guy,
yeah,
as your personal trainer, because it looks like he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at mentors and models to help us achieve our personal goals, Why aren't we doing that in business? I call this the business of politics. So when I go up to Carson City, I'm bringing my complete business toolbox with me because I think there's so many answers found in the toolbox of common sense. And to run a business and be successful, you can't spend more than you have. You have both internal clients and external clients. You have to love them both the same. There are so many ways of running a business where you can have success, and there are many ways of easy to fail. And up in Carson City right now with our school system, we've been failing because they've been neglecting it. They haven't put the energy on. No one's come up with innovative ideas. And mine would be to send 2 to 3 legislators, along with 2 to 3 members of the school board, to Massachusetts, which is the #1 state right now for education, and then Connecticut, which is #2, and New Jersey.
Yep.
They're all close. They're in New England. They could hop on there on a field trip, go back there for 10 days, and come back with everything we need to do to change our system with some amazing suggestions. I wouldn't mind going back there too, just to meet with their school boards and find out how are they doing it, what are you doing,
Sure.
why is it working, how'd you get to be #1?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I want to ask. When somebody goes into real estate in Las Vegas and it's their first year, they usually struggle for a year, 2 or 3 years. They look for a mentor that they can model, a broker. So when you're a real estate salesman, want to go to a brokerage that's going to help train you and show you the ropes. We're following California and we're wasting our time because they are down there. They're like one below us or one above us. So we're copying our bad big brother, and that's not helping at all. So in my opinion, we need to do a little homework, and we need to find out what #1, 2, and 3 are doing. Bring it back here. Sure, maybe dividing up the school system would help, but then if you don't change the mindset, then you can't change. Then everything external isn't going to help. You got to start with. You got to get into the core values and the core structure of what's going on, and then you find out where the problems are, and then you can fix it. But even a doctor, if you went to the doctor and said, "Hey doc, I'm not feeling good," he said, "Where does it hurt?" And you say, "You figure it out."
Right.
Then he said, "Well,
that's
a
great analogy."
I can't figure. You gotta talk. So you really have to talk to your doctor. If it's your wrist, you got to tell him. He can't tell if it's your wrist or your knee or your heart's getting or whatever, or your neck hurts. You gotta talk. He's got to ask you the questions before he can tell you. Start figuring out how to fix it.
That's incredible. And so you just, how did you come up with the idea that you wanted to actually run?
Well, I grew up here since 1957, and it's been my home ever since. I moved out and went to Gardnerville, small town up north, for a couple of years. Then I went to Tahoe for a couple of years, then came back. So I've seen the small town. I've seen the gorgeous Sierras town, Lake Tahoe, and then the rest in Vegas. And there was an old song called "Home Means Nevada." I don't know if you heard it. Have you heard of it? So there's a song called "Home Means Nevada," and it's been here. If you grew up here, you certainly in high school I think they played. I can't remember where I heard it.
I wasn't here in high school.
It was a long time ago. But,
I'll Google it. I'll play it on YouTube
it's a cute
later.
little song. It's "Home Means Nevada." It's just a little lullaby, almost country lullaby. Home means Nevada to me, and I grew up with that song in this state, in this city, and it's always felt like home. But the last 10 years,
it hasn't felt so much like home.
As I started to come unglued from my values, and the values of Nevada started coming unglued. And then the last 4 years, even worse with the command, with the control that we've had over our state these last 4 years, has just made me think to myself, I'm moving to Nashville, and I'm moving to Tampa. And so I've been actually spending time looking at Nashville real estate with realtors in Tampa.
Is that how you opened up the magazines there?
I've opened up those magazines there for that reason, because I knew that this place wasn't going to keep me anymore. And it's been my intention for the last 4 to 5 years to get out of here. I was running for the border, but now I'm running for Senate. And my friend said to me, before you go, maybe a guy like you could actually make a difference up there in Carson City. Would you give it a shot? Would you try? And I thought,
you don't know unless you try, right?
it is my home, and maybe so. So I talked to this person, I talked to that person, then I talked to God, and I said, God, what do you want me to do? Because no matter what plans I make, he can change them in a snap. Anyway, so I always ask him, is that what we're doing today? I mean, I put on a suit before and spent all day shoveling dirt and wondering why I'm changing flat tires and wondering why did I put the suit on? But but God says, well, I don't know either. That's not what I had planned. I thought I was going to the office.
Yeah.
We're changing tires and getting dirty. So God's they say you can make all the plans you want, but God has is in charge of the results and the outcome. There's another one they say, if you want to hear God laugh, just tell him what your plans are.
Yeah.
Because he's got other plans for you. So I had my talk with God. Said, what do you think and what should I do? And I kind of prayed on it. And he said, I heard him say, I've been training you for getting you ready for this for 10 years. And I said, oh, wow. Okay.
And you never left because you were meant to be here to do exactly what you're doing.
I've been campaigning for my clients for over 20 years now, and now I'm campaigning for myself, and it's
That's
been
true. That's
pretty
totally
natural.
true. Yeah.
And it's been good and natural, and so I really think I don't know. I talked to a good buddy of mine I've known since 10 years old, and I said, I don't know. I said, this kind of feels like the right thing to do this time of my life, and I feel like I can make a difference, and I'm not afraid to speak in front of a crowd. I was a cruise director on Carnival Cruise Lines for 5 years, and I would grab the microphone, talk to 3,000 people I'd never met before, and just ask them, how do you feel? And, you're on a cruise, and I'm not shy. I think when I get to Carson, I'm not going to be shy there either.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them know how I feel. I'm going to say, it's all about, we need to fix this state. So repair and restore, there's a couple things: crime, police, education, a lot of stuff going on there. Also, the transparency of where our money goes. Mm-hmm. I think there should be a website that the people can go look at. It's our taxes money. We can just go up and see. It's very difficult to figure out where that general fund, what's going on with the general fund for the layman.
Right.
We should have a portal that the public can see. It should be transparent. A lot of little fixes and repairs.
They're little, but with big results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then preventative measures involve branding for the police. That was a little bit what I was talking about, but rebranding the police department and making sure that our future generations love and respect that. All that are homeless. You know what a 7%er is? Tell me.
Tell the audience.
A 7%er in Las Vegas. If you're from here, born and raised, you're a 7%er like me. 93% of the people that live here didn't start here; they came in. And that goes to with our all races, creeds, colors, religions, everything. Okay, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or you're a male or a female. It doesn't matter. 93% is the number.
Isn't that something?
And it works the same with our homeless. 93% of them didn't start here.
Really?
Now,
I never knew that statistic.
And if you ask somebody, I don't know about you, but after I turned 18, I left my mom's house 5 times. I kept going back. When I was broke, I would, Mom, is that room still available? I would go back home, and Mom helped me restart 4 or 5 times.
That's what parents do. Some of them.
When you go downtown or wherever you find the homeless population, and I'll be conducting some interviews to back this up, but I am sure that 9 out of 10 of them aren't born and raised here.
Right.
And I'm sure they want to go back home.
Sure.
And I'm sure their support system, their mom, their dad, their uncle, their brothers or sisters are not here just because they are.
Right.
And I met a guy at the Dallas airport. I was in Dallas about a month ago, and I was on the little tram that rides around the Dallas airport. And I moved over, had my guitar with me, and you could tell this guy was homeless. He had pretty dirty clothes on, and he didn't look like he'd had a shower in a while and whatever. And he asked me about my guitar. You play music? I said, I sure do. I said, he said, where are you from? I said, Vegas. He says, where you going? Is that where you go? I said, I'm going back home. Yeah. I said, are you from here? He goes, no, I'm from where is? I think he said Boston or something. And he said he came to Dallas 3 years ago, and he's been stuck and homeless.
Wow.
And I said, where are you going now? He said, I got lucky. An angel gave me a ticket to go back home.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, that's all he wanted was to get the heck out of Dallas and go back to Boston. So I thought, that's the answer here. You know, we give them a shave and a shower and a ticket, and give them a shave and a shower and a warm bed to sleep in one night. Next morning, get them up bright and early and get them on the bus and give them a bus ticket home. We don't need to keep that vicious cycle going.
Yeah.
Okay?
Isn't it something?
And this is innovative. This is some of the innovations I'm talking about doing. I want to create a system that gets them back where they came from. They don't want to stay here. They're not enjoying it. Today I listened to 8 governors talk about, well, there's 2 things. They have a drug problem and they have a mental health problem. So, you know, and they were going on and on about drug and mental health. You know, they also have a family problem. They got no family here.
Yeah. 9
out of 10 of them. Mm-hmm. So if we could reduce our homeless population by 90% by sending them back, we could be actually the #1 least homeless state in the union. And wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be #1. Okay, we're 50 in education, but we're #1 in the lack of homeless. We cleaned up our homeless problem. Like give them a ticket.
It's a start, right? I mean,
and it's the last money you'll have to spend on them. Okay, so we won't have to give them $800 a month plus $1,000 a month to stay homeless. You know, there's a fine line between helping somebody and enabling them.
Yeah.
And so right now we're enabling them to stay. If we help them get back home, their family can probably give them a lot more love than we can.
You sure can.
And that's all they're missing. So I'm all about getting them a ticket back home. And, you know, I would say, you know, find them, get them to register, you know, with the Get Back Home, with whatever the program looks like, whatever it comes up with a name, and then find those that want to go back home and help them. I think, you know, to give them a shower, a dinner, and a warm bed to sleep in that night. Say tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, we'll pick you up and take you to the bus station, and you're on the Greyhound back home.
Sure.
People are like, you're kidding me. That's all this guy wanted when I moved to Dallas.
Isn't that a great story?
And he met a good Samaritan that gave him a ticket back home.
That's incredible. And
maybe that's what we'll call it, the Good Sam program to help them get back home.
What was the guy's name?
Back in Dallas? Mm-hmm. Oh, he was on the tram. It was like for 7-8 minutes. That was it, and then he was gone.
But that happened to give you that idea. You know, everything happens for a reason. You meet people for a reason. They leave your life for a reason. Everything.
Yeah.
You know, personally, professionally, I'm just a firm believer of that.
That's what I did. And I got on the plane. I started typing all this on my laptop. I said, "That's what we need in Vegas." And they're displaced, homeless, and that's what the word displaced means. They're not. And you know, I know when I was homeless, I called mom and said, "I'm coming back." And
get the
in my
soup
20s,
going.
I was trying to figure out my life in my 20s, and I had to go home a few times myself.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Well, Mark, I mean, seriously, you've done so much for the community. So many people have turned to you for advice on their own careers, and I've always heard nothing but wonderful things about you for all the great things that you do. So many people consider you a friend. So many people consider you family, and I just think that you have a wonderful chance of living your dream and carrying this out. I think your vision is pure, and I think the initiatives that you want to undertake are really just incredible. So
good.
It's been a pleasure having you here. I'm sure that anyone might be able to figure out how to get a hold of you, but but if they don't, your website, how they can get a hold of you, your number, the easiest way to contact you. If anyone has any questions for Mark, how can they get a hold of you? Any questions they might have of any topics that you spoke of?
Can I add in my last two?
Oh, sure.
And I'll keep it short. But the innovations, when you talk about that, so there's things that need repair. There's things that need to be preventive measures, okay, and sustained. Restore, sustain, and then innovate. So 49 states have a lottery, and we don't.
Oh, where you pay the dollar?
A lottery,
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
The big casinos. And their lobbyists won't let it happen. They're
why
blocking
wasn't
it.
Oh, really?
They're blocking it in Carson City, and they've got the money to block it. So I don't know why no one's thought of it. I don't know why I thought of it, but probably because the way I was brought up and the way I run business. When you have a problem with somebody else, and I had a problem with a girl when I started my restaurant magazine. She had one. There was already one here, and she trash talked me all over town. Said I was the worst guy, and nobody should advertise in my restaurant magazine. I couldn't sell an ad for the first 6 months for nothing. I finally ran into her, and at a restaurant convention. And she said, "Why? I know you." I said, "I know you." And she said, "Why didn't you just buy me out?" And I said, "I didn't know that was an option." So we went to lunch the next day, and a week later we had the contract, and I bought her out. She wanted to move to Florida and with her husband, and I didn't know that. And I said, "I started this magazine. I put all this energy and time and money, and I could have just bought you." So now. If I want to go into a business, if I want to start a plumbing business, I'm going to go somebody just buy somebody out first before I start one, because it's so much easier. They've already got it going, and they've already got the clients. You don't have to go
right. Yeah. Right.
So it's called. But I didn't know that then about keeping. There's an old saying: keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. So when it comes to the lottery, and these casinos don't want it because they're not getting a piece of the action, And so my vision is. Get them involved. Let them have a piece of the action.
Yeah.
So imagine in the MGM casino on a Saturday night, thousands of people there, and they can go over to the cage and buy a lottery ticket. And imagine if the casinos can all keep 5% of everything in the whole state of the lottery tickets, okay, to be used appropriately towards their charities, okay? There's not a casino in town that'll tell you we don't have a charity we take care of. They do. So, but they have to take out their own money. So what if this could help them with their charitable giving? Okay, now so now you can go to 7-Eleven and get a ticket, and the casino gets a piece of it. You go to the casino, and the casino gets if you get it in the casino. So my goal, my dream and vision is, if it's off property, out of casino purchase, they can get 5%. But if it's in casino, 10%. Of their own casino. So if they can sell lottery tickets in their own casino, they can get 10% of it. Now, they're getting 5% of the whole state, and they're getting an extra 5% for whatever they sell. They're going to have signs all over the casino. You're down to your last dollar. Go to the cage and buy a ticket. You never know. So you need to include your enemies, not put that wall between them. Mm-hmm. And when you invite them to the party, imagine back in the college days. When we had these house parties. Well, and the neighbors don't like it, but if you go invite them,
they
won't call the cops.
Yeah, so, I know.
So then you could have your party, your college party, but you just got to invite the neighbors in. So it's that same thing.
Invite the neighbors.
So if you invite them in, they'll probably have a completely different attitude about it. So I propose that we kick that off, and last but not least, we've got the Raiders and we've got the Golden Knights. Where's our NBA? Where's our basketball team? So it's time for the NBA to show up.
Okay.
So I want to do everything I can to make that happen too. And so I've got a lot of new ideas for Nevada.
All right.
And and also free Taco Tuesday. I think everybody
should Taco Tuesday.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't. That's gonna be the toughie though. Free Taco Tuesday. That might be a toughie. I got to figure that one out. I'm still working on that.
Okay. Fish tacos, chicken tacos, beef tacos.
At least one taco. I mean, on 7-Eleven, everybody gets a Slurpee, right? July 11th.
Oh, right.
So I'm thinking Taco Tuesday. Can we just have one taco, please?
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Who doesn't like tacos?
Yeah. If you could think it, you dream it, you can make it.
Shoot, if I get that on, I might get governor. You never know.
Yeah. If you could, of all these things we just talked about, we get Taco Tuesday, you're in.
That's you gotta talk to the people about what matters. Tacos.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'd be like, can we talk about it? We're talking about it.
Can we talk about it? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, Mark, this has been an utmost pleasure. I have the utmost respect for you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you so much. And
awesome.
How can we get a hold of you? If anyone has any questions or comments, where can they leave these?
Text me 702-497-5715. That's 702-497-5715. Text me, give me a call anytime, 7 days a week. almost 24 hours a day, but I feel like I should say 8 days a week and 825.
Oh yeah.
8 days a week, 25 hours
That's
a day.
one thing we might have in common.
825. This could be my new one. I work 825.
And then you can reach us at 888-JJI-0010, or you can visit our website at impactjji.com. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. And then we'll come back and we'll make a visit and see how the outcome is, and tell everyone what a great campaign it was and how successful it was.
Thank you.
Thank you.